It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Right now on the 10 o'clock news.
The Johnson & Johnson vaccine rollout officially underway in our area. One of the first doses going to patients on Long Island. Plus,
I'm not going to resign. I work for the people of the state of New York.
he's sorry, he's embarrassed, but Governor Cuomo says he's staying put in Albany, that is, despite growing calls for him to resign. The governor today breaking his nearly 2-week silence on the sexual harassment claims against him.
All right, 3 women have now come forward.
Now, this is the Fox 11 News at 10.
Panic at a preschool. A car careens into a local preschool, sending several children to the hospital.
Oh, more dangerous street takeovers in L.A. this weekend. Several people hit, and it's all caught on camera.
And he knowingly sold sick puppies to families wanting pets. Fox 11 helped to bust him. Now this sick puppy peddler is off the streets and paying for his crimes.
We begin, though, with breaking news here at 10 o'clock. Sky Fox over a pursuit in South L.A., this one lasting about an hour, with the driver taking the same streets at times.
First at 4, the long, hot summer. We break down the deadliest July in decades on Chicago streets. Kids in Corona, from school to masks to social distance. Are they ready for the new normal? Dr. Oz weighs in. TikTok on the clock. The president sets a date to ban the app, but a major player may save the day. First, no masking the problem. Illinois now hits a 4% positivity rate for its coronavirus cases, and it sparked the governor's new campaign to cover up and wear a mask. Still, as cases pile up, the big question for thousands of parents is what will happen this school year. Good afternoon. I'm Sally Schultz.
And I'm Anthony Ponce. Hope you're having a great afternoon. And we start with COVID. Let's break it down with Brittany Garzillo. She is live with the latest numbers. Brittany.
Fox 29 News in HD is sponsored by X1 from Xfinity, changing the way you experience TV.
Live from Center City in Philadelphia, this is Fox 29 News at 10.
We begin with breaking news out of Chester County tonight. A major fire at an apartment building impacting at least 100 people. I'm Jason Martinez.
I'm Shayna Humphreys. Let's get right to our Dave Schratweiser in North Coventry Township. What can you tell us, Schrat?
Shayna, tanker trucks continue to roar into this fire scene at this hour.
The only local news at noon. Fox 4 News starts now.
Good afternoon. I'm Steve Noviello. A Wiley man in custody for taking part in the Capitol riot threatened to shoot his children if they reported him. That's according to the arrest affidavit. Guy Reffitt is accused of obstruction of justice and unlawful entry in connection with the insurrection at the Capitol.
This is the 10 o'clock news on KTVU Fox 2.
The Bay Area's first doses of the coronavirus vaccine have arrived, and tonight we are learning when immunizations will begin.
The vaccines arrived today on campus, and the first vaccines will be administered tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
For many, it's a promising sign of the beginning of the end of the pandemic. Good evening, everyone. I'm Julie Hayner.
And I'm Frank Somerville.
Tonight on Fox 5, after a sunny and warm December weekend, we brace for rain and the possibility for the area's first major snow event.
Millions of Americans set to lose federal unemployment benefits the day after Christmas. Coming up, we're talking to people impacted in our areas and local unemployment officials about what's next.
A group burns a Black Lives Matter flag that was stolen from a church. It happened after the pro-Trump protests in the district. How city officials and community leaders are reacting.
I had faith in the judicial system. That faith is gone because so much has happened that we don't have an answer.
A convicted murderer released from prison due to coronavirus risks. Tonight we hear from the victim's family. The news starts right now. Off the top at 10, another beautiful day in the DMV as we take a live look here in Frederick, Maryland.
Fox 5 News at 10 starts right now.
A 1, 2, 3 punch as deadly storms pound the southeast.
Heavy raining, and you can hear the hail and the wind blowing. And then sound like a train coming.
A powerful system sets off an outbreak of severe weather.
Trees splintered and homes demolished across Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia.
I said we better get in the house, and we had no longer got in the house and got in the hallway, and the tree fell.
Lives lost and stories of survival. Hundreds were impacted, but tonight millions more could soon be under threat.
Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Tom Haynes, in tonight for Russ Spencer.
And I'm Courtney Bryant. We begin tonight with that severe weather threat.
Your Gulf Coast Weather Authority is tracking the threat of severe weather as the weekend approaches. Parents of Houston ISD students rally in an effort to keep state leaders out of local school business. And one of the most anticipated concert announcements of the year, the Houston Rodeo lineup is out.
Fox 26 News at 9 starts now.
And first up tonight, your Gulf Coast Weather Authority is tracking the threat of severe weather.
You're watching the best. Fox 10 News at 9.
And now at 9, a bill aimed at preventing critical race theory from being taught in Arizona schools is one step closer to becoming law.
A decision is made over President Trump's social media presence, the latest action from Facebook and Instagram.
And a unique way to attract workers. An Arizona company offering its employees free college tuition.
But first on Fox tonight, the border battle is a national issue right now, and it hits close to home.
You're watching Fox 10 News at 10 with Mark Martinez and Christina Carilla.
The limited trade deal the Trump administration and Beijing announced means Americans will avoid a holiday tax increase.
We've had 1,839 of our neighbors that we have lost, and more than 1,500 of them were over the age of 60.
The city of Detroit offering up a Good Neighbor program in its fight against COVID.
Detroit Public Schools phasing back into face-to-face learning. Coming up, what does it look like this time around?
A local teacher and coach is fighting back after he says he was fired over a social media post supporting Donald Trump. Why he's now suing his former employer and why the school says it had every right to fire him.
Working for you. Fox 2 News at 6 starts now.
We begin with good news. More Detroiters now have access to the COVID-19 vaccine as the city opens the door to those who are 60 and older.
You're watching Fox 13, and the 11 o'clock news starts now.
Despite a Game 3 loss, don't count the Rays out just yet. There's still plenty of baseball yet to be played. Thanks for staying up with us tonight. I'm Mark Wilson.
Yes, and I'm Kelly Ring, and it wasn't the outcome that any of us here in Tampa Bay were hoping for, of course, but the Rays just could not match the Dodgers' energy tonight.
Breaking tonight, emergency crews on the scene of the second small plane crash in Pierce County in just 48 hours. We're live with tonight's terrifying close call. Plus,
the fact that he drove his motorcycle under his vehicle for 3 miles, knowing that he had obviously hit someone, 100%. He should never be out.
a 16-year-old is killed in a grim hit and run. Tonight, his family is speaking with Q13 News. Plus, another Boeing shakeup in the works. Why one city's potential loss could give another local community a much-needed lift.
This is Q13 News at 10.
But first, breaking news at 9. For the second time in a week, a small plane makes an emergency landing in western Washington.
Now on Fox 9, tracking down the rioters.
We will investigate each of these cases thoroughly and completely.
Federal investigators searching for people they believe started fires across the Twin Cities. Plus, a 911 dispatcher watching the arrest of George Floyd, voicing some concern.
All of them sat on this man, so I don't know if they needed to or not.
And why Minnesota's stop on the PGA Tour will look a little empty.
This is Fox 9 News at 9.
Federal officials hope the offer of $70,000 in reward money will lead to the arrest of more than a dozen, suspected arsonists.
Bleach for breakfast. A corrections officer under arrest, accused of trying to poison an inmate. The latest on that investigation coming up.
And Puerto Rico, still in the midst of recovery, hit with yet another earthquake.
An American hero getting the keys to a brand new home.
U.S. health officials preparing to battle a viral outbreak. The global fight against the coronavirus.
Live from the news station, Fox 35 News at 10 starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Heather Gustafson.
And I'm David Bowden. The big story tonight, a correctional officer accused of putting bleach in an inmate's cup. The Florida Department of Corrections says it's dismissing Qualisha Williams, an officer at Lowell Correctional Institution.
With stories that matter to you, this is Fox 6 News at 4.
Our big story today at 4, a young life taken. A Milwaukee family is demanding justice after a 7-year-old is killed in a fatal hit-and-run crash.
This is so sad. The child was in a vehicle with her mother. Fox 6's Angelica Sanchez joins us live. And Angie, this happened just 2 blocks away from their home, and they still don't know who hit them.
Live and local, this is Fox 7 Austin, News at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. The production company behind Live PD is now suing local law enforcement.
According to the lawsuit filed by Big Fish Entertainment, the Williamson County Sheriff's Office and the Austin Police Department misrepresented information about video Live PD recorded during the death of Javier Ambler.
It's 10 o'clock and Fox 46 Charlotte is getting results.
Right now at 10, I'm tracking more storms and rain as an unsettled pattern is keeping the wet weather around when you can finally expect to see some drier conditions.
New tonight, he's at it again. A shady repairman with multiple warrants out for his arrest is taking advantage of new clients during the pandemic.
Why isn't anyone stopping this man? How is he still able to go in and scam people?
Fox 46 investigates what's taking him so long for police to get him behind bars.
Then it starts with a text and ends with you being scammed. How crooks are using the popular app TikTok to trick people into handing over their personal information.
But breaking first at 10 tonight, a 2-year-old has been shot and is now fighting for their life.
Tonight on Fox 46 News at 10, not guilty.
Donald John Trump, former president of the United States, is not guilty as charged in the article of impeachment.
Senators voted to acquit former President Donald Trump. The surprising guilty vote from a North Carolina Republican. Plus,
Fox 46 is live in Daytona, and the race is officially in jeopardy thanks to Mother Nature. The latest coming up.
And a local resident is $1 million richer. What game the lucky lotto winner played.
This is Fox 46 News at 10.
But first, another rainy day across the Carolinas. Here's a live look from the Hyatt Place Uptown camera. You can see it's pretty foggy out there, too.